Hey, I'm alive. Didn't want to say too much, but since we do have a full moon today, it's good to talk about what's going on, what we're feeling, what we're heading towards, and just generally the malaise of the day. 2020 has already been just a fucking crazy year. Uh, Top that off with an election year, top that off with one of the worst presidential debates anybody has ever seen, and now we have a full moon today. Over the past couple days, I'm pretty sure everybody's been feeling all this wonkiness, and what it's doing, it's a full moon in Aries. What it's doing is it's asking us to let go. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to let go tonight, but it's a process. All this is a process. Over the past couple of years, the universe and God and whatever you believe in has kind of been getting us and prepping us into this moment of standing into our own power. If you're not standing in your own power, if you're not working towards it, then you're not doing what's right for you. Then the problem is that a lot of us are still scared. So we're scared and we hold back and we just get to this place where we don't know what we're really doing. And I'll tell you one thing, like, you don't have to know what you're doing to know that where you are isn't where you want to be. um, at this point at this point, it's just making the right decisions, making the right moves, allowing yourself to feel guided to where you need to be. And again, it doesn't mean that you wake up tomorrow morning, hey Amelia, it doesn't mean that you wake up tomorrow morning and you decide to just change your life right there. What it means is today, tonight, this whole week, what's been going on is you're feeling the need to change your life. You're feeling the need to move forward, but you find ways to do it. You let go of what's holding you back. You move towards what you feel, what you're guided towards, and you let your brain not expand, in a way expand towards your heart. You're letting your heart do all the thinking for you, because once you let your brain do all the thinking, then you're really fucked. Especially tonight. Hold on, let me see if I can find some information on this full moon. Says, I'm looking at well and good. It says, proceed with caution because the full moon in Aries of 2020 or harvest moon looks to pack major intensity. This impactful lunar event will occur when the relationship-oriented sun in Libra is in exact opposition to the self-serving Aries moon on Thursday, October 1st at 5:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Aries is a cardinal fire sign representing individual identity and the first spark of life. In its purest form, its energy charges ahead first and asks questions later. But with the full moon, it's advised to avoid sudden action and reaction. Instead, take time to process your emotions. Again, we want to move forward. We're feeling crazy. We want to just say fuck it all and change our lives in a one of two moons. Well, we're bookending with like two full moons. So what do you think this means? We start with a full moon in Aries. I don't know what the other full moon is, but in the middle of this month, we're letting go tonight, we're letting go today, we're planning all through this month for the next 30 days. We're planning how we're going to change our lives dramatically, not just in the next 30 days, but for the next year, for the next 2 years. So we're letting go of all this stagnant energy tonight, immediately going into planning mode to figure out what's best for us to move forward. And then by the end of the next full moon, on October 31st, we release and start all over again, which now puts us into this whole thing of we have 30 days in which to change our lives. How do you want to change your life? Hi, Stephanie. How do you see your life in the next 2021 and beyond? How are you allowing yourself to be held back by not just anybody else, but how do you find yourself being held back by your own self? We hold ourselves back. We do this fuckery with our own mind where we start believing the lies that we've been telling ourselves for the past year, decades. And now we're just, over the past couple of years, we've been, if you're spiritually inclined, but if you're starting to wake up to being energy sensitive and understanding who you truly are, you're getting really uncomfortable in your own skin because you're not living your life. This full moon just like every other full moon, and everybody says it's the most important full moon. Every full moon is important because at least you get to understand what doesn't work for you and allows you to move forward. um, I think that the fact that we do have two full moons in October means that energetically sensitive people will find their niche. You're releasing a lot of self-serving facts that don't work for you tonight, and then you're going immediately into the planning mode and figuring out what does work for you. So new moon comes in, the intention of, I gotta find what I'm doing, I gotta find who I am, I gotta find what resonates with me. And then immediately at the end of October 31st, you're like, fuck this, I spent 30 days figuring out who I am. All right, does it work? Great. What doesn't work? Shove it all away, and then you start all over again. But this month is pertinent and huge for energetically sensitive people and people who want to work with others and help and teach and learn and thrive, because we're not happy right now. Nobody is happy. Nobody is happy because we're all in just this general malaise of, oh well, I've spent 6 months in my own head and now I figured out what doesn't work for me and what does. And there's still people that are holding back, and the people that are holding back now are getting really irritated because they don't know why their life is unhappy. Whether you're energetically sensitive or not, it doesn't matter. Hey Amelia, I'm not going to do readings. I may do readings a little bit later, but I'm Sagittarius, my partner's Aries. Are we compatible? Will our relationship work? That's up to you. I'm gonna say it's a long, hard road. I'm just feeling like you're already irritated with them or your partner, but that's up to you. I try and stay away from people's relationships just because I'm not a relationship person. I'm not one that's gonna be like, yeah, he's You gotta open up to him, Amelia. You need to open up a little bit more. You got to learn how to work with what you have and what you're allowing. But back to this whole full moon vibe and just being in your own power. So if you think about the last couple of years, we've gone 3 steps forward, 3.5 back, 2.5 back every once in a while, because we all get to this point. I know personally. So I'm going to talk about personally. It is a difficult ride. I'm not even sure if Aries is a air sign or what, but just based on this week alone and the general fuckery of whatever energy I've been sitting in, and the mush brain that I've had over I think it was Monday or Tuesday. Like if you woke up Monday, Tuesday morning and just could not talk, could not speak, could not communicate, not only to other people but to yourself, then you started feeling it. And that is that start of, here's all the energy, here's what you need to release. If you're feeling uncomfortable, then release it. Again, I'm very much a person of, if you don't like it, doesn't matter what it is, it's got to go. If it's not feeling right, it's got to go. Doesn't mean that you need to wake up or today go into your boss's office today or whatever, send him a Slack and say, I quit, I fucking quit, and then move halfway across the country. What that means is that nothing is done haphazardly. So this month you're making plans. You're definitely making plans in order to figure out where 2021 is going to go. So what we're doing now is we're feeling our oats. We're feeling where the moon wants us. We're feeling where the universe, where God wants us, how we're supposed to enact and react to all the energy that's being thrown at us. If you want to change the world, you're learning how to work with people to change the world. You're finding your soul contract, your soul people, your soul partners. Doesn't mean, again, soul partners doesn't mean that they're the people that you're going to marry. These are the people that are going to stick with you for the next 2-3 years to get you onto this next level of spirituality. Because I think with me, everything I do is based on levels. Like you go a certain level till you level up, and then other things start to happen. And see, I'm always one for a full moon. And it's the more I'm reading this, so by combining action and emotional processing, the full moon of Aries of 2020 may be revealing what's boiling beneath the surface. So if you've been unhappy, let's call a spade a spade. If you've been unhappy for the past couple of years, where you're living in your relationship with who you are, this is that chance to fix it, to change it, to upgrade your life. Don't just go into this next month and thinking that, oh, I can fix it, it'll be great, my life's been shit for the past couple years, but I can fix it. No, that's not about fixing, not necessarily about fixing anything. It is about taking a damn hard look at your life and dropping the dead weight. If your dead weight is a relationship, if your dead weight is your mind, if your dead weight is your job, drop it. Find ways to drop it. Find ways to work better with yourself, because you're being asked to level up and move forward and understand how things need to progress in your life. We're also in the Mars retrograde too, which occurred September 29th, Saturn in Capricorn. See, this is where I need to learn more about astrology. Hanged Man reversed. So we want to be stuck. Here's the thing. It's like we want to be stuck, but we're not. We're actually being funneled into a specific place. So even though we think that we're so totally confused and going crazy with all the energy, we're not. We're being funneled to a specific place. I do work with crystals. I work with pretty much everything. So again, this year, I think this year has been a huge one, and every year is huge, but this year is now at this place where the universe, God, whatever, we're being asked to really just intensely level up and get over ourselves, because we're the ones holding ourselves back. And if you're holding yourself back, then you're not happy. And if you're not happy, nobody around you is happy. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if you want the happy life, you have to be happy yourself. Your perception of reality is directly affected by your mind. And if your mind is really fucked up, everything around you is going to be fucked up, and you're going to allow like really screwed up things in your situations. Which is why when people ask about relationships, I directly ask them, hey, would you date yourself? Because if you wouldn't date yourself, there's a reason why all this fucked up shit is happening. You know, if you're having money issues, do you have lack? Do you believe in lack? If you're believing in lack, then there's your money issues. At this point, you know, there is no if, and, or but. There is I have a great idea and I need to go for it. There is no, maybe, but no. You know, October is gonna definitely be the month of, hey, let's figure out this shit, let's figure out this situation, and let's move forward, because I can't live like this anymore. I can't allow other people to reign over me. And that's another thing, like, you're gonna slowly figure out that you are the center of your own universe. It's slightly narcissistic, but it's better in a way, because we've been letting other people dictate who we are, how we live our life, and if we're happy or not. I think that what's going to happen this month in between both full moons is we find our own happiness. We find ways to dictate our own life and go in a direction that we really want to go in, not the direction that everybody else has gone in, not to make everybody else happy. But what happens is we find our own happiness. And yeah, if you're married and have kids, yeah, you're still living for them, but I think you find this really good line in the sand of, here's me living for other people, but there's this other part of me that just really truly needs to live for myself. And if I need 5 minutes alone, and if I need to be able to get away for a moment and have the husband or the wife take care of the kids, or let the kids fend for themselves, do it, because that alone time is able to give you that momentum to move forward. And it not only helps you, and that's the key part, like we do want to take some alone time to figure out our internal consequences and our internal dialogue, but it not only affects you, because it affects everybody else around you. Once you start living for yourself, once you start moving forward based on your own actions and your own self, then everybody else comes along with you. And that doesn't mean that you're going to be trying to be narcissistic and tell everybody, no, it's me and only me and it's my highway. It is your highway, but everything you do is a direct reflection on how you feel on yourself and where you're going. So if you have family and friends that don't understand, fuck it. Say fuck it. Do what you need to do. Move forward. They'll come along with you. Your family will be better off for the actions that you're making in this next 30-day period, because you're living inherently through your heart instead of overthinking stuff and stopping yourself from moving forward. But I would say that especially this month, in the next few days, this weekend alone, spend some time on your own. Spend some time figuring out what is truly working, where you might have gone wrong in the past year or 2 years or 12 years, and then rectify the situation. Feel like that, yeah. I think we all feel like we're going crazy. There's just a lot of energy right now. So, Stephanie, and I apologize, and I'm very my condolences for your dad and your sister both passing. I don't know when they passed or how they passed. What I would advise to you is know that they're in a better place. And in order to, you got to let go. And that's the key, is like, you don't forget, you let go, you move forward. They'll always be there. They'll always be with you. Their energy is always with you. But knowing that you're okay to move forward and let go of the hurt and the pain allows you to transcend this whole thing that's been holding you back for a while, which is, I'm hurt and why did they leave? There is no why. They're in a better place. They still watch over you. You know, they still love you. Yeah, see, Kiefer, when you help others, it helps you sort things out, because what you end up doing is you're answering your own questions. You're working on your own energy. So helping other people or giving other people advice, allowing other people in your own thought process. It's kind of like talking to yourself. So you're talking with people who are on the same path. And these people allow you to kind of just generate that forward momentum. So you're helping these people, but what you're doing is you're giving energy to them. They're giving energy back. You're moving forward, and you're able to level up and figure stuff out more effectively. Keeping yourself isolated for an extended period of time, it only works when you're going through a dark night of the soul. So I would say, unless you're going through a dark night of the soul, you need to be around people, you need to be talking with people, and you need to be allowing other people into your vicinity. But again, like, do it by how you feel. If you don't know you shouldn't be around somebody, drop them. So there's, again, Stephanie, I had 1 year ago. And I can't ever tell you, like, hey, get over it. But what I will tell you is, you holding on to the guilty feeling is an egoic response. And that's what's keeping you locked in this whole feeling of, I feel sad, and you're letting yourself have a pity party based on an egoic response that isn't your fault. It's not your fault that all this stuff happened. Could you have done something different? Yeah. But did you? No. If you look at it simply as a black and white of, it happened and I couldn't stop it, it doesn't necessarily make it any less hurtful, but it takes you out of this whole idea that, what, I could have done anything different. You did what you did, and it didn't cause a response that caused somebody death. You're not responsible for anybody's death. You feel guilty for death, but guilt is an egoic response. So if you take yourself out of that guilty feeling and say, okay, I love her and she's gone, and I will cherish her every day, cherish my dad every day, there you go. You know, you take yourself out of that guilty response, and you cherish and you're grateful for the relationship that you had, but you're not feeling guilty for something that you didn't do. You're welcome, Kiefer. Yeah, you need to stop saying in your house so much. Go outside, listen to music, go on a walk. I feel here, and you're having a pity party of one, and that's totally fine for a while. And I will never tell anybody to stop grieving for a loved one, but there is a limit. There's always a limit to grieving, and if you're purposely stopping your life from moving forward, that is your limit. That is your egoic response. And your ego is always going to take over and go, no, I'm not worthy of moving forward because somebody did this or did this or did this or something might happen. Take that egoic response and say, I'm worthy of everything. I am honoring my sister and my father, and I'm honoring their lives by moving forward and being the best version of myself. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's not saying that I guess the word is, it's not telling them no, fuck you. It's saying I love you so much that I will honor you every single moment of the day. But I need to move on, and honoring you allows me to figure out my life as fast as humanly possible. You don't forget, you'll never forget, but you won't allow it to lock you down. Wow, I've been on for 20 minutes. We've just been talking about like a full moon. So it's just, again, I'm not even an astrologer. I'm just telling you what I'm feeling. And as of this moment, there's this strong desire. There's a strong desire to move forward incessantly. And if sometimes that literally means just cutting bait and running, or moving forward, or saying, I can't deal with this anymore. Sure. Go ahead. Just be prepared for me to give an egoic response. There you go. If you know they would be saying that, Stephanie, then you should do it. If you know they would be happier with you living your life, I think that for you, the grieving period, there's still going to be a grieving period. There's no reason to not grieve, but you can grieve and allow yourself to move forward at the same time, because keeping yourself stuck isn't helping you and it's not helping those around you. You have enough energy and enough power and enough willpower to kind of will yourself out of this area. And I think right now is a good time, especially over the weekend, Stephanie, to allow yourself to cut out the grieving process, maybe not fully, but say, I am worthy of moving forward. This is what they would want, and I've been keeping myself stuck. And that's what you should release. Just tell the universe, like, I no longer want to feel burdened by my own insecurity and my own egoic response. Hey, Kiefer, what was your suggestion? So we're in Mars retrograde. Self-care. It talks about self-care. I'm one for self-care, if that means locking yourself in the room for a weekend. I had incense lit. I don't know. It was lit. It's not lit. Good idea, Kiefer. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the idea. I'm a big BE. What is BE? Oh, you're a big believer. I have incense. Sometimes I feel like it interferes with what I want to do. I'm a very blunt and forceful person. Incense is not blunt and forceful, so sometimes I believe that incense interrupts what I'm trying to shove forward, because I'm very black and white. You're either in or you're out. Incense is not like that. Incense is very flowy and wants to nurture. I'm not a nurturing person. I'm very cut to the point. You're fucking your life up. Let's fix it. Oh, good. Praying to the ancestors, meditation, anything you want to do, but I'm very much like black and white. You're either healing or you're not, and if you're not healing, why aren't you healing, and what do you believe stops you from healing? There is no like, let's nurture you into self-care. There's get over your shit, move forward, or be left behind. Yeah, ebbs and flows are huge. I'll see what happens. I had incense flowing, but I'm a very different person when it comes to universal messages. I have found that what works for me is just being very blunt and direct, swearing a lot, and just being in the moment and just telling you, like tons of people ask what's wrong with their life. Well, what's wrong with you? If you're asking what's wrong with your life, you think there's something in your life worth fixing. So why do you not believe that your life is worthy of something big? So there you go. But yeah, as far as the full moon goes, Libra working. I'm a Taurus. I'm definitely a Taurus. So I'm definitely either black or white. Like, yeah, I know there's a whole bunch of shades of gray, but black or white half the time works a whole lot better. Speaking of crystals, were you the person talking about crystals? Because I have a shit ton of crystals that I've been trying to sell on an Etsy page. I also have candles, and I'm working on essential oils. I have like 2 essential oil things. One is rose, the other is lavender. I'm just trying as much woo-woo shit as humanly possible, because why not? Yeah. I don't believe in holding back. Sometimes I do. I held back for like 30 something years. Like, it doesn't work for anybody. It doesn't work for me. Like, you know, cut shit and run. Like, if I offend you, then your response to something that I said isn't a reflection of me. It's a reflection of your triggers. And why are you triggered? Ooh. I should send you my Etsy page. Here, hold on. Yeah. If I can find my Etsy page. Because I have a bunch of stuff on... Somebody just order? Oh, I have an order. That's amazing. I somehow just had an order. So... amazing when that happens. Again, this is way impromptu. Here's my... That's my Etsy shop. I know I have an order. I don't know what it's for. We're going to check it out because why not? Where's my order? Holy crap. I don't know who this person is, but they just ordered four different candles. Oh, that's amazing. So what I do, not trying to what I end up doing is I just take candles. Oh, let's do this. Take candles, infuse it with Reiki and energy, and call to the high priests and angels and archangels, and roll it in incense and other things, and they're infused to a specific chakra for a specific reason, and then you get sent. And apparently the ones that I've sent out are fucking amazing, and that's not from me, that's from other people. So it's fun. Yeah, whatever you put out into the universe. So, and that's the thing, like, you put out negativity into the universe, you put out lack, you're going to get lack. You put out positivity, or this is what I want, this is how I need, this is, you know, need. Also, just don't even put out want, put out it's there, I have it, you know, it is mine, I licked it, so it's mine, and then everything will be fine. But this next 30-day period is intense. It's going to be intense, and it's designed to be intense. It's also, you know, if you miss this boat, there's probably other boats that are coming your way in the next couple of years. But this is a direct response to so many people saying, I'm not happy with my life. Well, if you're not happy with your life, here's 2 full moon periods in the span of a month in which you can dramatically change your life. How do you see it dramatically changing? And if you're not scared enough to move forward, you can do so much great things in 30 days or less. You can get over decades of trauma in a weekend. And it's true. Like, most people are like, but I need years of therapy. You only need years of therapy if you believe you need years of therapy. If you believe you're so broken that you need years of talking and not living to deal with therapy, great. But in reality, throw yourself into the mix, figure out what triggers you, then figure out the trigger, then figure out why the trigger is there, and then deal with the trigger. That may still take a week, but it's a whole lot better than just talking it. Real world examples work so much better than just talking about why you're scared. You know why? Because you face your fear. base what triggers you, and then you realize that it's not real. It's not a real trigger. It's only a egoic response to something that happened years ago that you are still scared of because you haven't truly faced it. So because you spent so much time talking about why you're scared, you're just scared. You have no idea. You have no real reason to be scared. There's nothing to be scared of, like, no matter what it is. Granted, childhood trauma. There's certain childhood traumas that you can really easily get over. I don't want to say like throwing a kid in the pool is a good thing, but I'm sure there a lot of things, like, people just want to talk. They want to be able to talk, but talking just leads to more talking. Unless you understand what you're talking about, unless you understand how this fear truly affects you, you're never going to get over it. So yeah, talk about it. Talk about it with somebody, but then take the initiative and say, okay, I'm fearful of this, so I'm going to try it out. And realize that your fear is just based in an alternate reality that is keeping you stuck. What is Reiki? What crystal should I buy? Reiki is divine energy sent by God or the universe to help you with certain things. Crystal? Depends on what you want to do. I would start simple with a... Honestly, if you want a Stephanie, if you want a crystal prescription, I can give you a crystal prescription. We can talk about that. You can DM me. We can talk about both Reiki and crystals, because I feel like you need an all-around something, like a starter pack, to just try and figure out if you do feel energy. And I can send you crystals that are infused with Reiki that do specific things to your chakra. But I wouldn't... Smoky quartz works. Smoky quartz is a good... amethyst is good, but get a hold of me and we'll talk. I can get you a crystal prescription that'll actually help. So, I've been on for 30 minutes and I haven't even really thought about this. By the way, guys, if you're watching me today, you can also watch me do a live stream on Fridays. I can't find it, but it's on my Healing with Matt channel. So Lizzie and I do live streams on Friday. We do free tarot readings. We talk about what's holding you back. We talk about why you don't think you deserve to move forward in life. We are both very blunt, and we will turn questions around on you. So tomorrow, Friday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is a good starter. Amethyst is also a good starter as well. You need something that's going to be... You need a couple that just kind of pull both you ground, heart, and head. Because this is off. Your root isn't rooted, isn't situated, and your heart is just kind of like fluttering out there. So you need like a few, I think. If that's what you feel, here's the thing. You know that they're there. You already know that they're there. There's no reason to question that. You feel it, you know it. You're still sad because they're gone, but they're not gone. They're there. They're checking in on you. They know they want you to know that it's okay. You can still miss them and move on. All right. Ten of disc, reverse. You just need to get yourself, Stephanie, you just need to get yourself out into the real world again and understand that there are people out there for you, willing to help you, and that you can help at the same time. So what it is, it's on-the-job training. So what happens is you get out, you find out that it's not as scary. You find out that this egoic response is literally dying, and then you start living your life and being happy, and then in the process you learn a lesson. So there you go. But it starts with you getting out of the house and saying, I want to greet the universe, and I want all the magic stuff that's for me. So you're good. Ooh. Alright, so in terms of the full moon, be careful, everybody. Like, there's some shit. There's been shit all week long. I think that we all just need to get to a point of just release. If it's you're holding on to something that you've been holding on for the past 30 years, just release it. It's no longer valid. It's no longer necessary. If you're fearing lack, then you're just going to get more lack. And it's really hard to just say, oh yeah, just release the fear. This is coming from a person who spent 30 years fearful of everything. I created the worst things in my life based on my own mentality and my own thought process. So if I can tell you, hey, all you need to do is let go of fear and trust that what is coming in is fine. If I can say it, it can be done, because I'm the one that automatically, I'm a Taurus and I'm overthinker. So anything that you do based out of fear will become real, because fear is a primary fight or flight response, and we technically use fear in order to keep ourselves stuck. We say that we're not worthy, we can't do something, and we are fearful of moving forward. So we all keep ourselves stuck, and then we just tell ourselves like, oh, see, I can't do this and I can't do that because it's not working. Well, it's not working because you're not allowing it to work. You're not allowing yourself to feel a better response than just fear and butt puckering. How would I do a full moon ritual? Probably put crystals out, meditate, burn sage, write a list of things that I am willing to no longer feel or be a part of, and then burn the paper, and then do a sound bath. Yeah, because, okay, and Stephanie, I'm not trying to tell you how you feel, but I think my girlfriend is kind of the same way. But that is part of you thinking that you can't move forward and that you need to be stuck in this certain way because you feel a lot of responsibility for both your sister and your father's death. And in thinking that being scared of everything, it helps you be centered and balanced so that you don't have to try anything, because I think when you tried something, then you got a negative response, which is death. If you take a look at it as you are worthy of everything that you want, and you just have to get over the fact that if you try something bad is going to happen. And if it does happen, it doesn't matter. It's not a direct result of what you're trying to do. It's it's an answer. So if like you try something that fails, great. You try something else until it doesn't fail. But you holding on to, if I try this, then something bad will happen or death will happen, is you having this response of I can't move forward because what if something else happens, and plenty of people have that. Like I know people who, my girlfriend's sister died because she was running. So now she gets to this point of saying I can't move forward because I'm directly responsible for my sister's death. No, she's not. She's not responsible for her sister's death. What she was doing on that certain day was living her life, and then due to an unforeseen circumstance, she took that on as pain and took that on as her own, and then decided, no, I'm no longer going to move forward, because if I move forward, then crazy shit can happen. Looking at that and keeping yourself stuck is not a good way to live. I would suggest tonight, Stephanie. Yeah, I would suggest tonight, burn sage, invite your sister and your father in, tell them you love them, tell them that you would like help feeling free from the burden of their death, and invite I was going to say George Michael. I would say invite Archangel Michael in to cut the cords of pain that still attaches you to an egoic response. Archangel Michael, good at cutting cords. Just ask him to help you loosen and let go of all this pain and cut cords between you and a fear-based response. But talk to both your sister and your father, talk to the moon, talk to whatever and whoever you need to talk to as you're burning sage. They know you love them. You know they love you. There's an open line of communication there. You can talk. So burning sage and being able to just get out of that fear-based response. So, Stephanie, uh, you can do both. And if you burn sage, so it does stop. Here's the thing. The way I look at it with sage, if you burn sage and you say, if you are of light, you may stay. But if you're malice intent or you have any malicious intent, you must leave. Or you can just round about and say everything's got to leave, and then burn Palo Santo and let everything high vibration come in. I would say be positive, and if you're going to burn sage, just say you can only stay if you're of light, which would mean everything good, your father or your sister will stay, but they'll come back anyway because there are cords there. And unfortunately, what I'm asking you to do with Archangel Michael is to cut cords from everybody. They will come back, and you'll still have cords. You'll still have the attachments, but I don't think you'll have the egoic hurt attachment, but you'll have that attachment to them, so they'll be there and you'll understand what they're trying to do. Speak it out loud, speak it loud and proud, and then just, I think a lot of what you need to say while you're burning sage is I am my best self. I am worthy. I am in love. I am a child of the universe. The universe always has my back. The universe wants what's best for me. I want what's best for me because you do. And that you are willing to start out in a new path that helps you realize your true divine human nature, because you are God in a body, you are goddess, and you will not accept anything less. So there you go. So full moon tonight. I'm going to go in a little bit because I've been on for 40 minutes and I don't even know why I started the live stream. I probably started a live stream to talk to Stephanie about how to get over her egoic response. There's always a reason for everything, right? Honestly, I wanted to talk about the full moon and just see how comfortable I was alone on the live stream, because I don't do live streams alone on my page. But it's fun. It's cool. I'm connected. I love it. I love you all. I'm going to wait a couple more seconds, 30 more seconds or so, and then I'll probably just hop off because I need to eat. But you are all amazing. Thank you very much for coming, even though if it was like 5 or 6 people. I do this every Friday, too, with Lizzie Costanzo, Facebook. Hold on. I got to find... I talk fast, and I'm sorry I talk fast. I'm not sorry I talk fast. When I get to these points of doling out information, sometimes my brain works faster than my mouth can. And then I get to this point of saying, ooh, there we go. Then I get to this point of not being able to talk correctly. So, Stephanie, so Sage will banish pretty much everything. Your dad and your sister. Your dad and your sister... I mean, you can... How do I put this? Sage just indiscriminately. But if you say in your head or out loud, hey, I want you here, name them by name, say, I'm going to sage, I'm going to get everything negative out, but you can stay, they'll understand. It's not going to just indiscriminately say fuck you to everything. It will say fuck you to like the bad shit. But also, if you have Palo Santo, burn Palo Santo after, because it'll raise the vibration of it. And then if you have peppermint, burn like spread some peppermint around. Have a wonderful full moon, everybody. Let me know how it goes. Tune in tomorrow. I will talk to you all later. Peace.